So the final is set. Sam Spivey, 29 years of age from Scarborough, and the 18-year-old Coventry lad Jenson Walker through to it. Somebody is going to have a life-changing evening tonight, and the tension in those semi-finals, particularly that second one between Jenson Walker and Scott Campbell, was palpable. I was out in the arena for that, and it was remarkable. Really was remarkable. Matt, you were watching, commentating on it. You could feel it in there as well.
Oh, absolutely. And you could see it in the players' reactions as well. Jenson Walker having to step back. How he pulled that last dart off, by the way, I don't know, because you could really feel it for him. The first two darts a long way off, missed them by quite a sizable difference. And then to compose himself and pull it off the way he did, especially when he weren't getting much rhythm in there. It wasn't just the players, though, that was feeling it. It was also transmitted from the audience as well. He said about, like, people not even wanting to move. Everyone sort of sat like statues because it was so quiet and silent in there. And sometimes in that moment, you actually want a little bit of noise. You actually want a little bit of energy in the room, because otherwise you're trying to inject that yourself. And they was both really under it. Scott Campbell's had a great campaign, but Jenson Walker, hats off, absolutely brilliant.
We've had some different feels on Champions Nights. When Littler was here, you know, it was a raucous atmosphere. The likes of Jimmy Van Ski, and he brought his crowd. Tonight, do you think this has been the most tense Champions Night we've had so far?
Yeah, I think it's tense tonight because of who's in the final. I know that Jenson's got a huge following in this sport. Everybody thinks that he's got a great future ahead of him. But I think the tense nature of this third dart, look at Scott Campbell there. He's thinking, what are you doing? You've got a double 18 to hit and you're off for a walk. But it looks genius now because he wasn't ready to throw. He steps back, he recomposes, and then he decides, do you know what? Now I'm ready. I'm going to go and hit it now. But the tension in there was very palpable. And he let a lot of things out there. I just hope for him that that wasn't a huge adrenaline spike that he can't maintain for the rest of the night.
What does it take to do that, to deliver that dart, when you need to hit it to go through to a big final like this? Because I'm the armchair fan at home who's sat there going, he's never going to hit this now, he's built up too much tension. But he's got up and he's backed it up.
There was a lot of things that we could really see there, though, for Jenson Walker. He wasn't just pacing around. Just watch his shoulders. You could see his shoulder. He was inflating, inflating. He was doing breathing techniques. He wasn't just stood there staring into the distance and hoping the situation changed. He forced it to change. And that is absolutely brilliant and exceptional, and something that I think we're going to see a lot more moving forward, because there's a serious amount of money to be played for, not just here, but in the world of darts, and for what Jenson Walker is about to go and do throughout 2025. And what you've got to look at is how can you get those extra couple of percentages, and I think we just saw how he is planning to do so. That is proper sports psychology right there.
Before that, we saw Sam Spivey get the better of Derek Coulson. He did it in quite good style, didn't it? That 104 checkout to get through. Where was that match won and lost?
Well, it was lost at the end for Derek Coulson. I know that Sam was showing really great signs of composure, which is his best thing. He's a great dart player, don't get me wrong, but his ability to withstand and to just stay there and be static and soak up anything an opponent can give him, and he can still perform and do stuff like that. Try and find 104 checkout to make your way into the biggest match of your life. It takes talent, and it also takes the ability to stay cool under pressure in a different way to Jenson Walker. I think what we've seen is Spivey naturally being able to get through, whereas Jenson Walker has educated himself in how to get through. So two very different styles, but ultimately they'll go head-to-head now.
Well, it was almost the same scenario, wasn't it, in a different way. Coulson's waiting on 16 there for 3-3. He would have had the darts and the decider. So even though he hasn't had this big build-up like Walker did, he might have had to hit that shot, and he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Coulson's probably going to be maybe disappointed when he gets back and looks at this and reflects on it, because in terms of the levels, in terms of the stats, they have been the best of anybody here. He hasn't been able to capitalise them. And that's going to frustrate him, because he'll be wondering how he can have the performance but not get the results to match the performance. And that's something he's got to try and find. And I've mentioned a few times this evening, I think he needed this title, because I think this title would have allowed him that. Sometimes on reputation, it gives you that extra visit, it gives you that extra moment. And I think he's going to get that title somewhere, and I think he'll be disappointed when he realises it's not this week.
Yeah, he won't be adding his name to the Super Series Roll of Honour tonight. There it is in all its glory. Conan White had the Series 1 winner. Raymond Smith won Series 2, hasn't yet been back to defend that title. Luke Littler then winning back-to-back series. Nobody coming close to doing that since. Jim McEwen, Scott Taylor, Andreas Harrison, Marvin van Velzen and Darius Labanauskas, 3 successive overseas champions. Sam Spivey and Jenson Walker are going to battle it out for the Series 10. The trophy will be set in England this time around. We've seen different journeys for all of the previous winners. Look, we're going to do something surprising here and not talk about Luke Littler because that story is so well known now. But the likes of Marvin van Velzen, he's gone on and got a tour card. Littler aside, who do you think winning this has done the most for so far?
Oh, that's a really good question. You try and go in chronological order. You look at someone like Jim McEwen. Maybe that is the biggest thing he will ever win because since then, I know he's done very well in seniors, but hasn't really kicked on since. Now, age is something that we all fight, and I would like to think that Jim comes back and has more success. Scott Taylor, number 6, has he done anything since? I think he would have to admit that maybe he hasn't. So there are more opportunities for him in the future. I'm going to have to say Andreas Harrison because he's been seen as a good player for quite a few years. But what he did to Cam Crabtree in that final and what he's done since with Nordic and Baltic, with on the European Tour last year when he played in Belgium against Gary Anderson, people fear him now. And what Matt was just saying about winning this title and having a reputation wherever you go, it does happen. Andreas is so good. And it is a miracle somehow that he has not won a tour card, but he has really changed Swedish darts for the better because of that victory.
And Matt, what could it do for whoever wins tonight's final?
When you look at where the Super Series is positioned in the world of darts, and you look at the people that won tour cards last year, a lot of them had success here at the Super Series. It is a real good platform, a crash course in darts, certainly at that level, to get you ready for what's to come next. And when we reference people like Jim McEwen, it felt like that was his crowning moment. It didn't feel like it was a stepping stone to something else. It felt like this is your moment, Jim McEwen. I don't feel like that for these players tonight. I feel it will be up until now. This will be the biggest title they've ever won until now. It'll be the biggest payday. However, I do feel like there's better things ahead. I think there's big things ahead for them. I think they're going to look at going into the professional game. And I think this can be a real stepping stone that in a couple of years' time, we could look back and go, that's the moment that it all changed for them.
Legacy awaits here at the Live Lounge. It's Sam Spivey versus Jenson Walker. It's a grand final of MODUS Super Series 10.
What a shot!
Sam Spivey!
And he does!
Jenson Walker. Well, welcome back to the party in Portsmouth. We are coming to you live on Pluto TV from the MODUS Live Lounge. Well, this is it, the grand final of the 10th MODUS Super Series. And yes, we are ready. The players are ready. And it's tungsten time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the interceptor, Jenson Walker!
I am number one, not number two. If I'm not the one, I'm uncomfortable. See the competition I've been running through. Leveled up, I only see him in my rear view. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Yeah, I'm ballin'.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Seaside Sam Spivey!
Here we go then. It all comes down to this. 141 players competed in MODUS Super Series 10, and now just 2 are left standing. Jenson Walker, the teenage talent from Coventry, who won week 2 really early on this year, takes on Scarborough's Sam Spivey, 29 years of age, who won the very next week. The pair of them have fought their way to the final, and now darting destiny awaits. The winner will get their hands on that brand new trophy, the gold medal around their neck, a £25,000 bank balance boost, and a place at the ADC Global Championship. Plenty on the line. Will Jenson be
Ladies and
walking
gentlemen, first
in a
leg,
Walker
Jenson
Wonderland?
through first. Game on.
Let's find out in the company of your big match commentary team,
34.
Matthew Edgar and Paul Nicholson.
All week long, we've had a countdown to Champions Night. Now, there are
100.
no games left before the final. This is it. This is the last game of Series 10.
82.
Some people say it's trophy time. It's title time. It might be time to start writing your story.
96.
Matthew Edgar's with me and has been all night long. And you believe this is just the start for somebody.
I think it's the start for both.
82.
I think winning this game is not going to change the path that the both players are going to walk on. I think they're both going to go on to some really good things within
58.
this sport. I see them both on the professional tour within the next couple of years. But right now, that'll seem so far away, and the players
60.
won't see that right now. All they'll see is what is to the left-hand side of them there, that trophy, and that £25,000, the biggest paycheck they will ever receive until now in this sport.
100. Jenson car 145.
25 surely. Or
99.
treble 19.
Tommy car 147.
We haven't had a 147 all week. But this is not snooker.
95. Jenson car
Walker
46.
is in a very different game in this final compared to the semi. It will be a lot quicker. And he will be comfortable.
Jenson Walker.
His key to success in this
Second leg,
final
Sam
is to
to
keep
first.
Sam
Game
Spivey
on.
away from the outer ring. Because Sam tonight is 50% on doubles. If you keep him adrift with superior scoring, you can beat him.
60.
Don't give him chances. And sometimes Jenson does need a little bit of extra time to get over the
96.
line because he's only 32%. We still don't know where Lorenzo is.
Well, one thing for sure, he's missed out on a cracking night of darts here, hasn't he, in finals night? Been dramatic.
96.
I think would be the best word to describe how things have gone so far. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more drama to come, despite the
134.
fact we're in the last potential 6 legs of the week.
Yeah, Jenson looking to become the first player to be undefeated on Champions Night since Andreas Harrison
140.
in Series 7. And his route to the final match was the same as Jenson's.
121.
Group A and Group C. Sam Spivey looking to do something that nobody's ever done, which is just play in Group B and then get the title.
130. Jenson
This is
car
a good response
150.
from Sam, but hang on.
98.
This
Tommy
final
car 75.
is fast. Double 12.
$69.
What a chance
Jenson
for
car
Walker
52.
to take a 2-0 lead and to get to the halfway point in no time at all.
I thought it was in. We know this doesn't fluster Jenson Walker. We know he can do this. Recompose, come back with one dart in hand.
Game show in the second leg. Jenson Walker.
Not for the first time. He hits a double after a pause.
Third leg Jenson to through first.
If he keeps hitting doubles like that, he'll get nothing but applause.
Game on.
He said it's fast, it might be over fast. He's halfway there.
He's a vastly better player
96.
after this series than what we've seen before. And if anybody epitomizes the pyramid of the MODUS Super Series when it comes to improvement, it is
60.
Marvin van Velsen. He came here, he was all right. Then he got better. Then he got better
96.
again. And then he became a winner. And now he can't even come here because he's on the Pro Tour. Walker is improving with every series.
140. $99.
Derek Coulson's in the crowd now, watching on to see someone win what he wanted.
77.
There he is. He'll be disappointed, but he did get one step closer this time around.
100.
First person to get 3 consecutive Champions Nights. He'll come back in Series 11, I'm sure, to try and make it 4.
129.
Sam's doing a really good
Jenson
job of
Walker,
leaving
10.
finishes, but Jenson Walker is getting all the shots at the end.
58. Samuel Carr, 95.
Does this have to be hit?
Well, he's gone for a double-double there, Sam Spivey. Hasn't found it. And Jenson Walker, we know what he's going to do. He loves double 16. And he's going to get 2 darts here, you feel,
55.
to put
Jenson
himself a
Carr,
leg away
52.
from the title. Big 20. Double 16. Composure.
36. Samuel
But he
Carr,
offers
40.
an olive branch. Something that Spivey can't miss.
Game shot
And
the
he
third
doesn't.
leg, Sam Spivey.
Again, he just looks so relaxed. I'm sure he won't
4
feel
Sam
it.
to through first.
How could
Game
you
on.
when you're trying to get the biggest paycheck and the biggest title of your career to date? But it is odd sometimes, and I can say from personal experience that when you're playing your 4th game
125.
of the day, you might be walking on a cloud right now thinking it's just a game of darts.
80.
You know, they merge together, don't they? Sometimes it loses the importance. Certainly when your opponent's playing well as well. You tend to find the nerves come when your opponent starts to miss, because then you start to sense opportunity. The best thing for both these players
58.
right now is that they both go up there and just continue to hit. As soon as the misses come, it just adds in the drama.
And you don't realise what you've achieved
140.
until after it's done. Not necessarily a bad thing. It would be a nice problem to have on Sunday and Monday.
60.
Tremendous use of the
119.
treble 19. Now obviously, leaving 6 points out there by not using the 60 means he hasn't left the finish.
98.
We saw a 160 finish in a final in week 9.
96.
It was
Samuel
by
Carr,
Mervyn King,
160.
who was first out tonight. Tops.
120.
The flight had everything to
Jenson
do with
Carr,
it.
66.
And the moment that point was anywhere near that flight, it was never in. Double 16 again. This time with only the 1.
Game
That's
shot
a break of
fourth
throw
leg.
in the final.
Jenson Walker.
That's right.
Fifth leg,
3
Jenson to
words.
through first.
Come on, Jenson. That's what he's saying to himself. That's what his family are saying to him.
Game on.
He's never been this close to this much money before. He can almost smell the metal on the trophy. A mature
60.
and quality-filled performance. That trophy has never been lifted by a dart player, but it might be in the next few minutes.
134.
Imagine being the first person to grasp that trophy and get that gold medal.
And he's doing it in style as well. 5 big power trebles here with the opening 6. He's
60.
completely eliminated Sam Spivey out of proceedings. This is now all about Jenson Walker. Sam Spivey is purely just a bystander.
57.
And it's now just, can Jenson Walker finish the job?
Jenson won Group C this week. Sam won Group B.
60. Jenson, your car, 130.
But there can be only one winner in this game. He's not going to go for the ball.
98.
I'm sure there was a little bit of temptation there saying, can I finish this whole job on the best target on the board? But he wants
121.
familiarity.
Jenson car, 32.
His trusty double 16. There's winning on Saturday nights in Portsmouth. Then there are winning series on Saturdays.
16.
It will have to wait. You can almost hear the heartbeats of the Walker family.
Well, he earned that luxury, didn't he, from the big
100.
power scoring, but that
Jenson
luxury of time is
16.
now gone. The time is now.
How does he hit that? That's how he hits it! And Jenson Walker is a Super Series success story.
Jenson Walker!
Series 10 belongs to the Interceptor with a miracle dart on double 8. Now he can let every single emotion out of his body. A sensational performance in the final. He didn't even have to have the best average, but boy oh boy did he give himself enough chances. This could just be the start of his career, and this is a night he will remember forever. The average was just under the 90 mark, but there's one thing you can't see on that stat sheet, and that is the winning shot at double 8, which he could barely see. Jenson Walker has won Super Series 10 and has beaten Sam Spivey by 4 legs to 1. That is your Roll of Honor. Jenson Walker joins the list. Labanauskas didn't defend the title. He couldn't. Van Velsen went to the tour. He has now picked up the title by winning his way through via Group A and Group C. And just like the Series 7 champion Andreas Harrison, he has got his hands but on the new trophy. Jenson Walker is the winner.
Yeah, a new winner, Jenson Walker. He's just got £25,000 richer. The medal is round his neck. The trophy's about to be in his hands, and he's also got a place at the ADC Global Championship. Let's see if he can give us a few words. He's on stage with Henry Deacon.
Jenson Walker, many congratulations. You just said there, you've done it for Coventry, but you've done it for yourself. MODUS Super Series champion. Many congratulations. How does that sound? How do you feel?
And I didn't say I'd done it for Coventry, I said I done it to make up for Coventry today. After that, yeah. But nah, it's unbelievable. I said on Friday it'd be up there, and it remains up there. You know, it's the biggest win I've had yet. So without a doubt, you know, it's unbelievable. Really, it hasn't really sank in yet. The same as what it did the first week, really. But I know it will, and it's unbelievable, really. And first of all, can I say thank you all for the support. It's been much appreciated tonight. Thank you.
Let's talk about that final then. And what you felt were the key points in that game, particularly in that middle portion where you and Sam were kind of jazzing it out. You then took an advantage. And it felt like from that point onwards, particularly that last leg, you just weren't relinquishing. You were finding power trebles. You were basically outscoring your opponent.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't really feel too much pressure in the final, which probably helped a little bit. I felt pressure in the game against Scott, but to be fair, the 66 was really, I think, the turning point between me and Sam. I could feel him creeping back into the game. I could feel his dominance coming into the game because I think he was, in my opinion, from my perspective, I feel like he was starting to dominate the game a little bit. I could feel that. I could feel I was starting to lose a bit of control. He misses that 160, I take out 66. Then I feel like I relax even more than what I was. And then the 180, and then I kind of knew it was just steady from here and it's game.
What could you see of that double eight?
Not a lot really. I think I was over near the corner. I don't know really. When you're in the zone, it's all kind of a haze to a degree, I suppose.
What does this title, what does the money, what does everything that comes with it mean to you?
Oh, it's going to be huge. It's going to out massively. The confidence of winning this. I come into this week and I kind of viewed it as a free shot. Perhaps that was a little bit modest of me, a little bit humble. I should start to believe a little bit more maybe, and yeah, hopefully it's going to add a lot of confidence to myself. So yeah.
And this is such a springboard for yourself as well, because winning this trophy, of course, it's a big title to win, but also gives you qualification as well for the ADC Global Championship, which is going to be here at the end of the year. Possible 60 grand on top of that to win in that particular competition. And this is what I suppose the Super Series does. This has given you a real springboard now for obviously that competition, obviously being the first one of the year. This is a springboard for the season ahead, right?
Yeah, 100%. The stage experience it's given me is unbelievable. I've not really had too many bad experiences on this stage, so it's always nice. If I go up to a different stage away from the Modus, I don't know whether that be Lakeside, UK Open, whatever I've done, I can always relay on my experience here and to use it as a little bit of confidence moving ahead. So what I've done here will certainly help, 100%, without a doubt.
And finally, what's the first thing you're going to spend the 25 grand on?
Oh, God.
Careful, because your family are down there.
A burger and chips. We'll go with a burger and chips. Burger and chips all round, guys. Family burger and chips, yeah, there we go.
Hey, that's on camera, by the way, so you're going to have to do it. Right, Jenson, your moment has come. Many congratulations. We're going to crown you champion. To do that, we're going to hand over to Mr. Paul Starr.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful series of darts we have seen here, of course, at the MODUS Super Series. And yes, we are ready. The champion's ready. And it's trophy time, so receiving £25,000, the gold medal, and of course this wonderfully sparkling new trophy. He is the new MODUS Super Series champion, the Interceptor, Jenson Walker! One more time, the 10th MODUS Super Series champion, the Interceptor, Jenson Walker!
Yeah, big moment for Jenson Walker there, lifting the trophy. He wants to keep doing it all night, and who can blame him? Look, he's spoken about this potentially being a springboard. Paul Nicholson and Matthew Edgar are alongside me now. That's how he should look at it, isn't it? Look, tonight, enjoy it. Try and win another week, another series this year if you can. But 18 years of age, winning something like this, he must feel like he's got the world of darts at his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of challenges for him in the next few months. Now there's expectation, but for the time being, I think if he was to come and chat with us for 3 or 4 minutes, we'd say, go and enjoy this, Jenson. This is a lot of hard work that's happened over the course of the last few months because he won his week very, very early. Do yourself a favour, enjoy it for a couple of days. Just settle, let the dust settle, look at the trophy, enjoy it, and then get back to work because this is where things begin.
Yeah, look, it is where things begin, but just this moment, what's it like experiencing winning something in front of your family, in front of your friends? What will he be feeling right now?
He's going to be feeling very, very proud, that's for sure. And my mind goes back to when Luke Littler won this, and it was a similar sort of story, teenage player, and he said, now I can do anything I want when he had that prize money and he had that cheque. And Jenson Walker's probably going to feel the same when he realises what £25,000 is like. And the good thing for Jenson Walker here is, I say I know him, I've met the family, that they're a very supportive bunch and they're going to be the right people to have around him. He's not the sort of person, even though he's 18, put 18-year-old me, put £25,000 in my hand, it wouldn't have lasted a week. I would have absolutely made a mess of it. Where he's going to use this right, and he's probably going to invest a lot of this back into his own career. He's probably going to do the right things with it in terms of managing it and making sure that it stays around for a period of time. He's not going to waste this opportunity, because this isn't just a title tonight. This is potentially a career-changing moment for him. Because when you think about now financially what that does and the doors this could open for him, he doesn't have to worry now about how he's going to go to his next tournament. He wants to get to Lakeside. That's an expensive process. I've been on that journey. It's a lot of time in Europe, a lot of flights, accommodations. He can comfortably afford that and then some.
He's going down the Luke Littler line of celebration as well. Littler was kebab, wasn't he? It's burger and chips all round, apparently.
Do we get some? I wouldn't mind
Hopefully,
that.
don't let him leave.
I think one of the biggest things I remember about Jenson's journey is just who he's been through. And you think about his winning week. There was Andy Hamilton, Simon Whitlock. We're talking about Graham Hall in that week as well. We are talking about Jamie Hughes. This week, Mervyn King, Derek Coulson. These are incredible dart players. Some of them are legendary dart players. So this is something he can really look back on with pride. And if this doesn't give him the kind of confidence to shoot forward for Challenge Tour victories and WDF victories on a quest to Lakeside, I don't think anything will give him that confidence. So be proud of what he's done. He's shown composure tonight, because there have been times where he's lost it. But tonight, composure, accuracy, and a winner.
I think that line of commentary is going to go down in Super Series history as well. How does he get that in? Shall we have a look to see how he did get it in the end? That 8-8 for Jenson Walker. Look, remarkable, isn't it? Just talk us through this, Paul. You were watching it at the time.
Well, he's thrown that one. He thinks it's in. He's thrown the next one from a different angle. And look at that dot. It's spiked. He hasn't hesitated. From his position, he could probably see about 50% of it, but he trusted himself to try and find a little glance off the right side of the barrel. Very difficult dart, because if you hit it too much, it either goes further to the left or it skews possibly into the single 16. It just goes to show how accurate he can be. He's been better on doubles tonight than he was over the course of the week, because that was a bit of a weakness at times. He fixed it.
Yeah, and he's shown in the semi and the final there. He's done it in different ways. We were sat here speaking about that long delay, the build-up of tension. There, he just got on with it and threw it in a small target. Has he shown that he can win matches in different ways tonight?
Adaptable, and that's a real good quality, because he didn't choose to play that way in the semi-final. He was forced to. Scott Campbell sucked the pace out of that game. So he had to react in a way of where he can get it back into his hands and he can control the situation. Jenson Walker's game is about fluency and about pace and about rhythm. And he couldn't find that in the semi-final. Against Sam Spivey, he could. He could just go with the flow a little bit more. Sam Spivey a lot quicker, presented the Yoki a lot quicker. There was one moment I looked at the clock and it was 56 seconds between shots that Jenson Walker had to take his throw. So he can't play the same way. And to be able to adapt the way he did to his opponent and the situation is going to put him in good stead for the future.
Just a quick word on the runner-up, Sam Spivey, and particularly that ADC pathway, because this is a guy who's been playing local vault tournaments, has found himself in the grand final of the MODUS Super Series.
Yeah, he should be really proud of what he's done. I think unheralded is probably a word that will follow him around, because he's not someone who grabs headlines with social media profiles or the way he plays. He's efficient. And the way he goes about his business, we refuse to have him under the radar anymore. We know exactly what he can do. He does have a bit of a reputation with people in Yorkshire. He's now gone onto a different stage. I'll be interested to see what he does next. Does he go to the same kind of level as a Tom Sykes? Because I know Matt has mentioned that earlier tonight. Does he go to other heights? Time will see.
Yeah, well, let's just recap what's happened this evening then. Jenson Walker defeating Sam Spivey 4-1 in the final, and that is after winning all of his previous games, including a 4-3 win against Spivey in the group stages as well. That means that it's Walker's name that is added to the Super Series Royal of Honour alongside the likes of Littler, Harrison, and the Series 9 champion Darius Labanauskas. Look, legacy is there on that screen. What is Jenson Walker's darting destiny? What, Matt, can he go on to achieve from here?
Well, look at Series 3, 4 and 8. I think he's going to follow in those sort of footsteps. People that go on to the Pro Tour. It is something I know he's got aspirations to do. He did go to Q School this past year to gain some experience, to see what it was like. He acquitted himself very well, but by his own words, felt like he wasn't quite ready at the time. Now, I feel like he would be.
In terms of this series and tonight as a whole, where do you think it sits in terms of memorable Super Series Champions Weeks and nights?
It's right up there. I don't think this series will be as iconic as Series 7. That just had something else about it. That finish of 1-2-1 by Harrison, it still burns around this place. That is a fact. But there are many, many different things about Series 10 that might have a ripple effect on the next 2 or 3 years. People coming from the Pro Tour, the ever-growing ADC, and I think when it comes to Series 11, it's really important that we start casting that net even wider. Series 10 has started that again with Kenya, with more Australian representation. This is now a worldwide product, and we want the world to see it, to experience it, and we want them to play it.
We certainly do. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your work tonight and this entire series. It's been another fabulous series, but tonight it ends with Jenson Walker winning the title. Don't forget, the channel goes on 24/7. Plenty of fantastic stuff coming your way. And next week, it is Women's Week here at the Live Lounge. That gets underway from 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Following that, International Pairs, the first ever pairs tournament. We're going to see nations do battle on the stage here. And then Series 11 gets underway. But Series 10, well, it's been dramatic, it's been tense, it's been a lot of fun. But in the end, we are walking in a Walker Wonderland.
It is Champions Night, of course, in Series 10.
Double 12. We might not see a better finish tonight than that.
Scott Campbell.
He wouldn't have to win his second match to qualify for the semi-finals.
Game shot in the match.
A 4-2 victory it is. He was right, and Spivey strikes again.
Derek Coulson is 2 games away from glory. And Jenson Walker has raced into the semi-finals.
He's going to have the darts in the semi-finals. Finals. In the semis he goes.
Well, what a start that is for Derek Coulson.
What a shot!
Sam Spivey.
Double 6. Consider the game changed. What he has to do right now is channel. And he does! An exceptional last start from Jenson Walker.
The second leg. Jenson Walker.
Not for the first time. That's a break of throw in the final. How does he hit that? That's how he hits it! And Jenson Walker is a Super Series success story.
Jenson!